Hey everyone, Eric Rossi, ericrossi.com. I recently got a request through my YouTube channel about what I do for my workflow. Now, this is a pretty heavy topic that a lot of people don't like to get into, but you know what? Why not? I'm very simplistic within the way I do my workflow, but let me kind of describe to you what a workflow is. A workflow basically is getting from the camera, in my case my D7000, onto the computer and onto saving storage devices, external hard drives. So I'm very simplistic, as I said. I tend to use Adobe Photoshop CS 5.1, then Lightroom. Nothing against Lightroom. I just feel I do move faster through Photoshop and editing my photos. Lightroom has great cataloging systems. I just don't have the time to do that right now, so I do run through Photoshop a lot. So quick thing. So I'll take my shot, take out the memory card, obviously pop that into the computer, and it'll come up, as something like this with your hard drive or with the SD card. So then you take the SD card, always make sure when you're copying, always make sure to copy your files onto your computer or to a hard drive, getting them off the SD card. It's much easier for the computer to read them when it's off of that card. It makes it a lot faster to use when editing, especially if you're doing video as well. But this is my photography workflow. So say I have an image like this. I shoot RAW. Now a RAW file is something you have complete control over, as JPEG is something that has already been processed. Once again, that could be another video. But I do shoot RAW, but in this case, I just took an example from my website, ericrossi.com, of a JPEG that I have and that I copied it onto my desktop. So say this is as soon as I pulled it off my SD card and put it right onto the desktop. So I will take that file, open it up in the Photoshop, which I already do have open, and I will, let me open that up in Photoshop. So that'll open. Okay, I made all the changes I want, whatever. Then this is the main part of how to do this. How do I save them? So I'll go File, Save As. I love to do the year, so 2012, and the date. So right now it's March, so I'll go 3. And that's how I kind of leave it. If it's something a little more specific as to a wedding or something, I'll put like either the client's name or whatnot. But just for something like this, it's just March. It's something more personal than for professional ideals. So I'll save it. And I'll put it right onto my hard drive, my external hard drive. So boom. Okay, whatever. JPEG is saved. Now I'll get out of Photoshop and now see that it is on my hard drive. This is my next step in my workflow, how I personally catalog. So I make a folder. So right now it's spring of 2012. So I'll take that, I'll go in here, drop that in here, open that up, and I'll make a new folder saying this is my personal document of 2012. And that's how I do that. Usually I'll have another folder. This is a newer hard drive, so I don't have it set up, of client or pro work of 2012, and then that's where I'll get all my other the work I've done and put that in there. So if you kind of see, it's very easy. Going from camera to saving is very simple. I do highly recommend backing up your folders and files all the time. Yes, leaving it on one external hard drive is great, but leaving it on several external hard drives is better, or especially CDs and DVDs. I always like to keep at least 2 or 3 copies of all of my files, so that way if a CD breaks, an external hard drive crashes, I'm covered. So that's it, kind of a quick tip on my workflow. Once again, I know it's not as easy as using Adobe Lightroom, but it's the way that works for me. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Eric Rossi, ericrossi.com. Please subscribe, spread this video around, and leave me any comments on anything else you would want to see. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.